What if I told you that the elites of the world get together in the woods in front of a giant 40-foot stone owl and do all kinds of weird rituals and chant about forest spirits and run around naked? You'd probably think I was nuts. But that's the reality. That is exactly what happens at the Bohemian Grove. So, welcome to Behind the Deep State with Alex Newman. I'm your host, Alex Newman. And today we're going to break down one of the secret societies that is at the heart of the deep state behind the deep state. And the Bohemian Grove, sometimes they call themselves the Bohemian Club, really was virtually unknown until pretty recently. The thing that kind of busted it all wide open was Alex Jones, the radio host, the head of the InfoWars empire. He snuck in many years ago with a camera and videotaped one of their rituals called the cremation of care, a very, very bizarre ceremony. You can see the owl here right behind me. This is actually footage from one of their rituals, from this cremation of care ritual. So the Bohemian Club, you have essentially 2,500 of the most powerful men, and only men are invited, by the way. Ladies, you will not get an invitation. 2,500 of the most powerful men on the planet. They demand total secrecy. Every Republican president going back to 1923, except Donald Trump, has attended this Bohemian Club. Many Democrats also. Huge numbers of cabinet officials, including secretaries of state, secretaries of defense, secretaries of war, secretaries of the treasury, CEOs of major corporations, big oil chiefs, the heads of the intelligence agencies, banking titans, media bigwigs, and on and on. And so they get together in the redwood forests of Northern California. They have their little logo and their slogan, "Weaving spiders, come not here," right? And the idea is that they're going to go and they're going to get rid of their cares. They're going to stop caring about the world. They're going to just have a good time and plot the world's future while running around naked in the forest, right? Very, very bizarre stuff. During the founding conference in the United Nations of the United Nations, which took place in California, and by the way, was run by an American, Secretary General Alger Hiss, the very first Secretary General of the UN. Later, we put him in prison because he was working for Stalin, the guy on the other side of the table during the founding of the UN. But that is the deep state for you, right? They want tyranny, totalitarianism, etc. So all these people at the founding UN conference went off to the Bohemian Club. And I want to just play this video for you real quick. It's a short clip from the video that Alex Jones got when he snuck in. And I want you to see what these people are up to when they think that nobody is looking. Check it out.
Time malevolence which would pursue us here has lost its power under these friendly trees. So shall we burn thee once again this night, flames that eat thine effigy. We shall read the sign, Midsummer sets us free. You shall burn me once again. Now but me, flame, which hither ye have brought from regions where I reign. Ye fools and priests, I spit upon your fire. Wow. Prince of all mortal wisdom, Owl of Bohemia, we beseech thee, grant us thy counsel. Bohemia, we thank thee for thy adjuration. Begone, dull care. Fire shall have its will of thee. Begone, dull care. and all the winds, victory without doubt. Hail, fellowship's eternal flame. Once again, midsummer sets us free.
So pretty weird stuff, right? And if you're not a Christian or Jewish, if you don't believe the Bible, I would be extremely curious to see what your explanation is of this, right? A bunch of powerful men wearing hoods and running around with torches and burning what they claim is a human effigy at the foot of a 40-foot stone owl. And what's the deal with the recorded screams in the back? Or they say it's recorded screams. Why in the world would you do that, right? Why are the leaders of the world getting together and engaging in rituals like this, chanting about forest spirits and things like this and getting rid of their cares? That is really, really weird. Now, if you read your Bible, I think you get a very concise explanation of what is happening here. There's been a lot of speculation that this weirdo owl is actually a representation of Moloch, the demonic deity from the Bible that demanded child sacrifices and things. And that's not to say that every goober who goes to this Bohemian Grove necessarily believes in this stuff or whatever, but this is what they're doing, right? We have it on tape. Richard Nixon actually talked about the Bohemian Grove in his autobiography, in his memoirs, and he wrote, quote, "If I were to choose the speech that gave me the most pleasure and satisfaction in my political career, it would be my Lakeside speech at the Bohemian Grove in July of 1967. Because this speech traditionally was off the record, it received no publicity at the time, but in many ways it marked the first milestone on my road to the presidency. It was an emotional assignment for me and also an unparalleled opportunity to reach some of the most important and influential men." And he's not kidding, right? You get people like Henry Kissinger there, you get Steve Bechtel, you get Gerald Ford, you get George Shultz, you get all these very, very influential people. After Alex Jones snuck in and filmed them, he actually confronted David Gergen, who's been a senior advisor to multiple presidents in both parties. Check it out.
I read a Washington Times article many years ago where you had a comment about the organization, and then now it's been in the Wall Street Journal, it's been in a lot of different newspapers, and that's the Bohemian Grove. And back in, 1996, when you joined as a Clinton advisor, the Republicans were criticizing you, oh, what about Bohemian Grove? And then you countered them by saying, hey, I don't run around in the woods naked. What did that mean? Here is the before-mentioned Washington Times article where he said, I didn't run around naked like they do.
I don't know what quote you're referring to. I'm not aware of any quote like that. Listen, I am a happy member of the Bohemian Grove. I like the folks who come there, and it's really inappropriate for me to talk about the group beyond that. Thank you.
Have you been there for the ceremony with the cremation of care?
Frankly, I don't think that's something I need to talk to you about.
Really?
That's right.
But it's a lot of big public officials going in there. Don't we deserve to know?
I don't know anything about you, and I don't know anything about your film. But if you go in there with an understanding, you violated that understanding by releasing that film, and I don't respect you for that.
Really? But we have public officials.
I'm sorry. You took an understanding when you went in there that you would not do that film, and did you have an understanding when you went in there?
No.
Did you crash it?
Yes.
Yeah, and it has no trespassing signs there too, doesn't it?
No, they put them up after.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I just walked in.
I'm sorry, sir. I've been there before. I know what the circumstances are, and I'm sorry you violated the understandings. That was not a gentlemanly thing to do.
But what about the ritual? Is the ritual gentlemanly?
Sir, everything. I don't owe you this comment.
I know. I appreciate it.
This is what's called ambush journalism, and I disrespect you for that as well. So thank you
ever
and goodbye.
Been in the ritual?
That's none of your damn business.
So there you go. You can see that Mr. Gergen was obviously very, very uncomfortable with the interview, and he said, "You're not supposed to talk about those things, right?" And of course, Alex Jones never took those oaths, so he didn't have to remain silent. But anyway, it's very interesting to see the leaders of the world engaging in this bizarre occult rituals and all sorts of weird things. We know that most of the Bohemian Grove attendees hate Trump, and we know that because former Secretary of State Colin Powell attended, and he got his emails hacked. It turns out he sent an email to his buddy up in Canada, Peter Gordon MacKay, who served as Canada's Attorney General, the Minister of Defense, Minister of Foreign Affairs, very influential guy. And Colin Powell wrote to his buddy, he said, "I'm back from the Bohemian Grove. Surprise, surprise, I sat next to Stephen Harper a couple of times and had a nice discussion. Grove attendees know that Trump is a disaster, and most will vote against." So as far as I'm concerned, that is a really, really good endorsement of the president. And you don't have to agree with the president on everything to recognize that, hey, if he's not involved in these little secret societies, if he's not doing these secret rituals, that's the kind of guy we want in office, right? We don't want somebody who's beholden to these occultists and weirdos. We know from Hillary Clinton's hacked emails that they are engaged in some really weird things too. We found out from John Podesta's hacked emails that he was going to a spirit cooking at Marina Abramovich's home. Her Twitter handle is Abramovich666. For those of you who aren't familiar with spirit cooking, this was a ritual developed by Aleister Crowley. He used to describe himself as the Beast 666, a drug fiend, a pedophile, a pervert in every sense of the term. And he developed this pseudo religion called Thelema, and one of the rituals was spirit cooking. So they would mix in blood and semen and breast milk and stir it up into a pot and then go right on the walls, bizarro things with a sharp knife cut deeply into the middle finger of your left hand and eat the pain, right? And the purpose is to summon these spiritual entities, quite clearly demonic. And this is the reality, right? These supposed leaders of the world are all engaged in some very, very strange things. We, the people, deserve answers. It is unacceptable for these deep state criminals, as our president calls them, to run around doing these things behind closed doors and then, come back to Washington, D.C. as if everything is normal. Everything is not normal. This is highly inappropriate. These people need to be exposed. These people need to be stopped. And these people owe the American people an explanation of what in the world they think they're doing in front of their little 40-foot stone owl at Bohemian Grove. This is another episode of Behind the Deep State with Alex Newman. Thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned for more amazing information just like this. Get the word out. Help us share this video. And make sure you go to our website, thenewamerican.com, to get all the latest news and to get the information that you need to stay free. I'm Alex Newman, signing off. Thank you, and God bless.